All right, well, welcome in everybody to another diecast custom 164 diecast video. We're going to do a little bit of everything today. Well, most everything today, to try to show you guys here in one video a lot of the different steps it takes to make one of these cars. And I've got a number of different cars at different stages, just for the purpose of showing a lot of the stages that I go through in order to make the car. So we will get started, and I'm going to try to do this in order as best as I can, but I will start off in saying I'm making this Matt Kenseth 2020 number 42 Clover car, and I am at the point where all I have left is to put on these decals. So I am going to dip them, because I usually like to let them sit for 5-10 minutes or so, sometimes longer. And so yeah, you see how it's water slide decals. This is not very complicated. You want to trim the decals as close as you can to the actual decal itself, without cutting into the decal. Right, James? So yeah. I'm just busting on you, James. I've done that many times. I was talking to James, we were emailing, so yeah, it's especially the ones that are white, the decals that are white. They're difficult to see exactly where they are on the paper, and so you just have to be extra careful. Give yourself a little bit of extra room if need be. But yeah, so just kind of trim around these things. As you can see, I'm trying to cut them as close as I can to the actual color that's printed on the paper there. Go over here to this Credit One logo. Sometimes I get a little overboard with my cutting. It's not really necessary. When I say overboard, I'm talking about like where you get it so close, as you're trying to make it, super close, and you don't really need to. I mean, sometimes it's helpful to get real tight and get into some of the crevices, but you can go overboard. And so for example, you can see this one here. It's really close. The R is really close to that fuel door. I'm just going to leave it together as one decal all the way across here. But I am going to trim across this top of these letters over to the L, not cutting the L, of course. And get close enough for that cut. And then what I try to do here, especially on these side decals here, well, pretty much only on these side decals that go across the rear fender, it's not a flat surface, and so this has to kind of conform. And if you cut these little tiny lines in here, it will help the decal to to just fold over on the top there. So I'm going to trim this little extra space off here. And so that'll just help it fold over a little bit better. Now I'll just put a little line in there too. When you go to lay that down on there. So you can see I need to cut my fingernails here pretty soon. They're getting kind of long. Make sure we got enough in there. Yeah. Okay. So we'll let that sit. I have a couple cars here. Whoops. Camera's not high enough. I have a couple cars here that I haven't drilled out yet. So let's get to town. We'll take this one, and you can see I've already started to kind of paint some of the color underneath the car here. So that's already started. But yeah, let's come over to this, my my trash box, and we will drill this out. The drill is a little loud. If you want to turn your volume down or mute, you can do that. I know it's kind of annoying when I check my videos and see the sound and just see the quality of the video. It's annoying to me too. So just giving you a warning. And yeah, so this is a 3/16 inch bit, DeWalt bit, 36 volt drill. It's what I've had for many years, and works good, so I just keep using it. All right, let's go. So I got went a little long there, as you can see. It's a new, well, relatively new bit, so it chomps on that metal really good. I just get the bits at, Home Depot for, I think they're like $3, maybe $4 a piece, not much. Okay. Did I stop before? Yeah. Went too far there. Okay. It's pretty straightforward. This just kind of pulls out. And I usually like to see if these will lift. But, nope. Looks good. And then we just do some of the plastic pieces in here. Very careful on these. My lighting's poor here. See what we got here. Almost enough, I think. Yeah. I want to get it just enough so you can lift it off. Because you don't want to destroy these little mounting areas because you're going to put it right back on there. So it's best if you keep it in good shape there. Now these you got to be careful not to slide your drill around to damage the clear plastic. It's pretty easy to do. It's pretty easy to slide off, and if you nick this clear plastic, it's pretty much irreparable. So. Okay, that was pretty easy. Last one. Not sure how you guys can view here, but isn't that great? But there it is. I push in these windows on the sides here. Voila. There you go. And you get into that point, and then I've got a nasty jug of paint stripper in here, and then I've got this little hook. It's a little piece of 14 gauge wire. I just bent it and kind of suspended it there, and then I just dip it in there like that, and it'll strip it off in 20-30 minutes probably. I just let it sit like that. And that's how I get the die-cast body down to the bare metal, like so. Oops, sorry. And let's see. Let's take these little pieces over here, get them into their position where I try to keep some, organization. What does the scripture say? God likes everything done decently and in order. And so I try to keep some order here and not let the pieces get tied up with some other body or whatever, right? So next, we'll go over to this one as we just bounce around here between cars. I'm going to do a 2015 Ryan Blaney snap-on car. And so after it gets stripped, gets down to the bare metal, I then bring it over here again. I kind of wash it off, right? And I get a little wire brush. It's just a little cheap wire brush. And I just kind of brush the metal, just to kind of get it ready for paint. Get any little imperfections off and just kind of shine it up, right? I'm doing some painting in the rest of my house, some bathrooms and stuff, and you know, it's just a reminder. I've been painting for a long time, off and on, but painting is a quality paint job. Really comes and stems from your preparation. You prep the surface well, get it clean, get it smooth, and your paint is going to turn out really well. So that's kind of the lesson that you take to, you know, really anything when you're painting. So yeah, I can already feel that that's a lot smoother. And then I have this kind of cheap steel wool that I'll just do as a final little rub on this thing before I paint it. And I always wash my hands with soap, and I use Dawn. I have two different soaps over by my sink over there. I have one that has lotion in it for kind of when I'm, you know, washing my hands from whatever. But I have Dawn soap that doesn't have any lotion in it, and so I use the Dawn soap to kind of get all the oils off of my skin, my hands, and then it doesn't have any lotion in it, so it doesn't apply anything to my hands that would then rub off on the car and stuff. So, and I've got these little towels down here, these leftover kitchen towels and stuff from that we don't use anymore, and I just kind of, you know, wipe off the car. Sometimes I just wipe it on the side of my pants if I'm wearing sweatpants, like I usually do in here in the basement. Yeah. So that's ready to paint. Let's go. And you can see that that's already doing a good number on that paint there. All right, this is going to be black. And I have this black paint. It's a high performance enamel, and it doesn't require any primer. And so I just use that. Actually, this is going to be the first time I'm going to use it. And this is where I paint. Over here on my little box, my little shop vac box. And yeah, we'll see how this goes. Got these little stands that I've been using for many years to paint on. Just rest the car on it, like so. Get a little bit closer there. Tell you what, I'm getting ahead of myself. To paint the bottom first. And flip it over. And that's it, fellas. A lot of times, one coat is sufficient. And so we'll let this dry, and we'll see. If one coat's good, then that's it. We'll let it dry and reassemble it and go to town. Okay. Okay. So once it dries, you can see I have this car here. Well, kind of stuck on my top of my little tester's bottle there. Once it's dry, I'm ready to reassemble it. And the reassembling, you know, this piece here, when I remove it, I just kind of go around it with some gloss black just to give the edges kind of an authentic, realistic look. And put it back in here. I usually try to push that side in, this driver's side rear window in first. Try to get that in there. And then kind of snap it in. Inevitably, sometimes you get a little chipping that occurs. If the paint's a little thick, it'll chip a little bit. You can see just a little bit along this edge here, but it's not too bad. And that'll clean up. Use a brush, or sometimes I'll go over it very carefully with my X-Acto knife to clean that up. But yeah, so that's that. And then on this particular model, it's all one piece, right? This is a 2015, 2016, when they were a little bit different. I just put a little glue on top of these spots that I drilled out. Just a little back here. Back here, make sure it doesn't go anywhere. Sometimes a little right there. And then I'll put a little bit of glue around the base here, around this little spot where this dash goes. Kind of painted that little dash there. And then, oops, I forgot something real quick. Like to paint the little red line on the steering wheel, like so. Try to be careful not to touch that, and then put this in. So I put a little bit there, and then I put a little bit more glue on the top here. A little bit there, a little bit there. Don't want this thing going anywhere. Okay, and then on this one actually has, I've already detailed the interior here with as much as I'm going to do. Try to paint those little fire extinguishers red. And then this one is just reassembled with screws. So put the wheel in there. Set this like so. And I want to be careful for that piece not to fall over, but I have to do it this way, and then I'll flip it back over so that the wheels don't fall off of the base there. So put it on, and then flip it over. And then this is the back screw. Can I get it in there? I got my screwdriver right here. Like anything, I don't tighten it down. I just get it snug. Get the other screw in place. And then tighten them down. Definitely want to make sure the paint is completely dry when you're doing this paint, because you are handling the car a lot, and if the paint's not dry and your fingers are messed up, then yeah, it's not going to turn out very well. So at this point, I still have glue in there that needs to dry. So I'm just going to set it upside down here like this on this box. And that tester's glue usually takes maybe 2 to 3 hours to dry. And that's that. I'll show you a little bit of the detailing of the interior of the car here. So these little paint pens, well, let me put the glue away first as I try to show you guys as much as I can in one video. These little paint pens have to be depressed, to get the paint flowing. And sometimes the red is a little clumpy. It kind of clumps up on you, so it's kind of messy. And so there, yeah, you get it going like that, which is quite a bit actually, more than I wanted. And what I do, you can see I already painted some of on these black interior pieces, you can see I already painted some gray in there. The shifter just around the seat and this little piece here. But for the red, there's no fire extinguisher on this, so I just kind of do the top of this box like so. And then there's this fuel line that runs from the front to the back, and I try to do that as well. Unfortunately, I got a lot of paint on this tip, and so I just have to be super careful. I don't like to have it run like so. Not too hard. Let's see. Do this one too here. Oh, no, I won't. Sorry. I thought that was going to be an easier one, but it's got the little fire extinguisher in there. And if you see me do it, sometimes I'll use like a toothpick, or I'll use one of these little applicators to apply the red paint into that spot. And then I usually take a little bit of white, and I will do the white shifter like so, like that. And let's see, since I already have the red here, I see something I can do on this one. I do a little red right there, and this is red like so. And then red on the steering wheel for the center spot there. And then I do the exhaust. So you can see I got white here, got gray, I got some rust there, my custom rust, and then a gray here. And I just go over this area with the black paint pen to do the exhaust. It's interesting, they used to have, look like stainless steel exhaust, but now when you look at the cars, when they flip, like if you see pictures of a car flipping over, ever since like I think the mid 2000s, maybe even before, I noticed that they're black now. The exhausts are all black. So yes, I do that. And then I'll go down these little support bars here Do them in black. And I'll do these little bars up here. Just like so. And then I let that dry, and then I'll put a coat of clear sealer on it. Alright, you guys have seen me decal cars before, so it's not rocket science as I get to the last couple minutes of this video. This has been sitting in the water for a good 20 minutes. And the key is here, at least on this particular car right now, is getting it to line up in that corner. So the decals will stretch a little bit when they're soft and pliable, but not a whole lot. So you really have to, you know, work the decal in and get it in the right place, trying to get the, you know, little water out from underneath the decal there, between the decal and the car body. And you can see how I'm handling the car. Again, your hands have to be clean. And I want this to come this way just a little bit as I kind of pull it close to kind of bridge that gap there. Yeah, it's getting there. And sometimes what helps is a little bit of this micro sole. This softens up the decal. And gets it to lay nice and smooth. Probably should have applied this a little bit earlier, just for the sake of the video. But hope this video helps you guys. Again, just trying to show you guys the techniques that I use to make these cars, these customs, and you know, to the best of my ability. I'm after, again, the perfect custom, trying to make it as best as I can for the glory of God, and also to make you custom collectors, those of you that watch that are collectors, you know, happy with your customs. You know, nobody wants to put a piece of junk in their collection. They want something that's, you know, of a high quality. And so that's what I'm trying to make. Doesn't always work out that way. Sometimes my cars don't turn out that great, but I'm always striving, you know, to make the next one the best as I can. So God bless you guys. Have a great day.